here. Hello.
I could start with just a little bit of the history of Delancey Street. It was started by Dr. Mimi Silbert, and she lives here. She is on site. We have access to her, so we're very fortunate. And she has a double doctorate in criminology and psychology from Berkeley and UMass. And she worked in the prison systems in late 60s, mid 60s, and going into the 70s. And she was really pretty much disgusted with the prison system. She would meet with a lot of inmates. She would go talk with them. She would see the turnover rate, people getting out of prison, not rehabilitated, no job skills, no self-worth, and go right back. So she met a gentleman named John Maher, and he was an ex-convict and a drug addict, and they both had this vision for something different than prison, an alternative. And what they came up with was Delancey Street. So it's about accountability. It's about an extended family. And the reason we're called Delancey Street is Mimi's parents came from Eastern Europe, escaping religious persecution, and they came to the United States. So all the immigrants at the turn of the century, you would go to Ellis Island. You would actually sit on a bench, get registered into the country, just like when we have an interview in our front office, we have a bench that was actually from Ellis Island. So when you come in for an interview, you sit on that same bench. That was one of the benches at Ellis Island, and you're getting immigrated into a new lifestyle here in Delancey Street. And that's why we're called Delancey Street, because she likens us to immigrants. Whether we're in county jail, prison, a lot of years on the streets doing drugs, we come here and it's a new world to us. We ring that doorbell, and if we get accepted, we have to get up at a certain time, we have to shave. If we have long hair, we have to cut it. We have to totally strip our image that we had before we got here. You have to be respectful of each other. You could be rooming with someone who's from a rival gang previously, a different neighborhood, a different way of thinking, and you guys have to coexist. You have to learn how to put a suit and a tie on, tie a tie. You have to listen to people. You have to take criticism. Everything we do here is completely foreign to what we're used to. So you come here and you're truly an immigrant, and really when we get here, we're infants. We're infants in a new way of life. And so that is how Delancey Street kind of came about.
I've been here now for 5 years. The initial commitment here is a 2-year commitment, so anybody that goes and interviews, everybody's welcome to come for an interview at any time. We're open 24 hours to anybody that's just down on their luck or at their rope's end and needs something better for themselves. And so after the initial 2-year commitment, you can ask to stay longer, but it's a minimum 2-year process.
Hi, my name's Steve. I'm 46 years old. I've been here for 4.5 years now. Vinny actually did my interview when I first got here, so I always thank him because I felt like he was an instrument that saved my life. I've been in and out of jails, going in and out of jails and prisons since I was like 15 years old. So I have like 22 to 25 years of in and out of incarceration and drug abuse and running the streets and all that stuff. So when I got here to Delancey Street, I was totally broken. I was at the end of my rope. I didn't know what else to do with myself. I know I needed something a little more extreme than 90 days or a 6-month dry out or a year dry out. I needed something that was going to help me unlearn all the things that I had learned, over the years. So I heard about this place, and I heard that it kind of broke you in a sense, not in a bad way, but in a good way, So I got here, and it took a while. It took a while for me to get integrated into what it was that was happening here, because I was kind of institutionalizing my way of thinking. So I thought if I stayed quiet and just kind of watched everything, I would learn how to do it. But that's not how things work. You have to get involved. You have to do things in order for things to start working. So we have this thing here called maintenance. So when you first get here, you're on maintenance. It's where you get up at 6 in the morning and you go to bed at 11 o'clock at night, and you're working all day long. So you start out in the dining room, you sweep and you mop and you take care of the dining room, you serve people when they come to eat, And the most important part of that is not the work, but it's the getting used to getting along with other people.